All right, welcome to the Low-Key Dreamers. Who do we have here with us today?
I'm Caspa Clark. Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to
See,
meet you as well. Casper, where you hail from, man?
I'm hailing from Virginia. Originally I moved out to Richmond, Virginia, and now live in Petersburg.
Hell
Start
yeah.
start my record company down here in Petersburg is really where I got serious about it. Noise Records.
First question I gotta ask. How'd you come up with the name, man?
So I'm a big fan of Key and Peele. And one of my favorite skits from Key and Peele is the dance routine where they're saying noise to each other. I thought that shit was funny as hell, so I incorporated it into just about every affirmation that I have in my life. So I'll just incorporate it like into noise slice. I've idea for a pizza parlor that I'm gonna call Noise Slice, and then it became a part of the record company as well. So it's kind of a name that's been sticking with me with business ideas for years, and then it took the forefront of Noise Records.
So I hear you say you got the record company. What made you want to start the record company instead of like just being an artist, or you know what I'm saying? What made you want to be like the head of the record company?
Well, I realized just studying because I had been out of the internet, out of the game for many years, man. I traveled around like a kind of like a hobo on freight trains and just following music around the country for many years and cannabis, music, stuff like that, just feeling the freedoms of life. And I've always been an independent person off of that, just living in the gutters, the grind, and living in the trenches. I just kind of have an independent mindset. So when I started to look into the music industry and how it's working now, because it's totally different from when I used to dip and dive into it in the 90s or actually early thousands, really. Um, it's really an independent game, I found out. So you have to learn every obstacle of it. And I figured, why look for labels when I can just build my own? Look towards the labels telling me what to do and, dealing with all that mess and owing somebody money if I can just put in the repetition and it's my hobby and then I can build it into a business over time.
What has been the most difficult part of this process of building your own label?
Um, the repetition, man, keeping up with it with the 9 to 5, being a dad, being a caregiver to two people with mental disabilities, just juggling everything. It's a full plate. It's about 13 different jobs in one just to keep up with. Once I got serious with it, marketing from content creation to website building to putting the links together for pre-saves to putting the videos together to editing the videos. It just goes on and on and on. And doing that and then not seeing the exact comeback from that work like right off the jump. It's tough emotionally, really. It's a roller coaster ride. It's always in the artist's mind, it's always a sensitive mind anyways. That's why we're artists. And combine the both of those together, man, it's a little bit of a tougher ride, but it's worth it in the end to me.
In your opinion, how long would you say it takes an artist to get a return on their investment? If they without like a major deal or anything like that.
Ooh, it could take a while. It depends on your work ethic, really. If you drop going out with friends, going out to movies, spending money, doing anything really, you have to focus clearly on this. And if you've got anything like children and stuff like that, then it becomes squeezed into a small amount of time, like I was saying. And um, it's going to take a while if that's why you have to do it. So it really depends on how much space of time that you have to work in a week's time schedule. And I didn't see even a dime returned until probably year 1.5. And then I started getting distribution checks. And, even $5 to me because it's my hobby as well and my love for the craft as well as something I'm trying to build was actually a W for me. I was happy with that. But now that I get a couple $100 every month, that's even more. It actually pays a bill. It shows that the grind was worth it. So I'm ready to do more after that. But yeah, it takes some time, especially in the music industry. It's not an easy industry to tap into.
When was the moment you fell in love with music?
I was shit. I know it's the cliche artist answer, but always, man, I can remember back when I was real little, my dad had records everywhere in the house, and he was always listening to everything from reggae to jazz to blues to classic rock to old soul to the list goes on. And I was always tapping to a beat ever since I can remember. I kind of remember even when I was probably like 1.5 years old, just sitting around listening to my dad's music. It's a flash of a memory, but I've always had a solid love for music.
Which artist inspired you the most in your recording process or just in the type of music that you make?
Ooh, I'd have to say first it was Lauryn Hill, then Old Dirty Bastard, then
Dirt McGirt.
yes, sir. Then moved on to Eminem, of course, because he kind of gave me a head on into the culture and not feeling like I was misplaced.
I'm about to say those are some good answers, man. Especially the first one, Lauren Hill. I did not expect you to say Lauren Hill. That's fire.
Man, that voice hits, bro. And then when she starts rapping, it's a whole nother move.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I respect it. I respect it. I fuck with it. Hell yeah,
Man,
brother. So, I always ask every artist this question who's on here. With the music industry and how it's set up now, do you believe the music industry sells the music or do they sell the people?
they're selling to people. They're selling an image, brand. Um, in order to make money in the music industry, I believe that you have to have you have to either like s- kind of sell like a an experience to the customer now, and you have to have merch, and you have to have content out, and you have to be getting paid and monetize your content. And there's just so many aspects to it, and the music is really, excuse me, a billboard for everything else. Um, I like it in one aspect because it just makes the artist be able to focus more on the music and make the music a little less about money and gives you an opportunity to branch off into other business ideas. And it's not like before where people were blowing money with a record deal, like MC Hammer, for example, many others. If you're actually making money, you had to invest in yourself first. So you're going to want to keep investing in yourself. You've already learned the process. You've already not been dumb with your money, so you're not going to repeat that bad habit.
How do you feel about artist development being taken out of the industry and them just snatching people and putting the camera on them? Do you like that, or do you wish artist development was wish it was back?
I don't wish it was that. I don't wish it was commercialized. I wish it was more personal. Because it is a personal thing. Like your music is your journal. Your music is not for everybody else like they try to push onto you. It's not you fitting into the mold. That doesn't make an artist. An artist makes art for themselves, for their mental health, for their process in of evolution and evolving in life. So when somebody puts a label on that and puts puppet strings on you and tells you exactly what to do and how to make your music, it's no longer your music, it's their music through you. You're not, you're basically a robot in human form. So I don't really, no, I don't appreciate that, and I don't really even dig the music they make out of that.
What is your purpose in making music?
Really meant that, like I said, it started with mental health. It always pushed me through. I lived a really struggled childhood. After being 12, man, it was just life struggle after life struggle, trial after tribulation. So music really helped me push through, helped me go into another world, um, distance myself from the negativity, um, teach me things that the people around me would not teach me because the adults around me weren't really good leaders, weren't really people to look up to all the time. Um, and then it branched off as an adult. I came back to it for mental health purposes and a way to journal how I feel, a way to tell my kids and generations down the line and document the way that I feel and the experiences that I've had and the story that I live and put that down onto a document and into a poetic form and into a craft that I love so that they can come back and listen to it later or watch it later or whatever have you.
On your personal journey in music, what has been your biggest success personally?
I'd say my biggest success personally is my catalog, really. Um, I went from about 2 years ago, I didn't know nothing about studio equipment, nothing about even using a DAW, nothing about recording videos or editing or any of those sorts of things. Um, I worked a 45-hour work week every week, came home, pedal being a good dad, pedal being a good brother, pedal being to a sister with a disability, to a mother with dementia, and still took the time for myself and learned each piece of equipment hand by hand. Um, Went out, found me a good mixing engineer. Went out, found people on the internet, networked, found a team, put that together, built a huge catalog and all this while juggling all these factors and all these struggles that are going on because of, the age I'm in, the process of life that I'm in, and was still able to keep pushing through these, even though I wanted to give up many times and learn each piece of equipment, even though I've got kind of a learning disability and didn't really have a good time in school learning things. I still was able to take that time, slow myself down, and teach myself bit by bit how to make my dream come true, whether it's a small time dream or a big time dream.
How would you describe your sound to people who haven't heard you before?
Oh man, I'd say it bounces everywhere, man. It's like a roller coaster. It goes up, down, around, circles, depends on how I'm feeling. Up lows, you can catch everything in there. And I could never really put it into a category. And that's what I love about it is that it's not a category, it's a feeling. And I feel like it's a spiritual move that speaks through me and it's coming from a higher place than myself. So when it comes out, it's just whatever is needing to be said at the moment. And that's not an egotistical thing. It feels like sometimes when I say out loud, it's more of we're human beings. We have our magic that we live with. And a lot of us get caught up in the robotic everyday work, work, work lifestyle. And we don't even recognize that these things are there. Luckily, I got to travel around and live a very unrobotic lifestyle where it was fresh every day, brand spanking new things, analyzing people right in my forefront, and got to see this, experience this that we all have this magic, and got to experience people that have not let that magic go.
How important is that, in your opinion, to hold on to those dreams and aspirations and not get caught up in the everyday, like you said, robotics? Like, I guess I'm trying to say, not even trying to ask, I'm trying to tell you actually, just give some people some words of inspiration because I feel like most people, I mean, we have bills, we have obligations, some people have children. Like you said, with what you got going on, taking care of family members with mental disabilities. How how would you encourage someone or people in general to not give up and not get distracted by what's in front of them, but keep that faith and keep that hope in their dreams?
I would encourage you to look deep within yourself. Make sure that you love yourself first off, because you're the star player in this game you're playing. Nobody else dies with you. Nobody else in the end, when it comes really down to it. If somebody locks you in a cage tomorrow, you're there by yourself in that cage. So love yourself now. Don't worry about everybody else and if so and so likes you for this, or if so and so is going to like this song, or if so and so is going to like that. Just put that repetition in. A lot of people get stuck because they're afraid of what people will think. And it doesn't really matter what people will think. If you like your art, then you've done a good job. That's all there is to it. And if you like it, that means somebody else is going to like it. If you haven't found that person that likes it, that just means you haven't marketed your music enough. It doesn't mean it sucks. It literally means that you haven't found your demographic. You haven't found the people that dig your style. You haven't found those people yet. So keep pushing until you do find that crowd. You do find the people that can appreciate what you appreciate. And it's just like having friends, or people that you call your family members. If you're like me and build your own family, um, it's important that you care only about what you think first, and then that's when other people will care about it too.
Would you say in your process of making music that you're a perfectionist?
In the process of making the song, no. I trained myself not to be a perfectionist because I know that there's no such thing as perfect, and I'd get stuck in a loop of trying to build a song for 2 months if I did that. Um, I try to just pump them out, man. And I learned this from watching documentaries, hip hop documentaries. And one of the things I learned about Tupac is that fool would walk into a studio, he'd pump out a song. They'd want to listen to it back, and he'd say, "Fuck that, throw it on the track. That's one song. Let's make another." And I love something about that, man. Just makes the hair on my neck stand up, even just saying it, man. And I love that style, man, because you can come back later and listen to it, and then that repetitions that you're putting in, if you just keep pumping them out, you're fucking golden the next thing you know. Look at Tupac's poetry, man. It's just so deep and so like intricate in the wordplay that he uses and the shifts of double entendres, and just he lyrical genius before we even had them.
I like that answer because I struggle with being a perfectionist at some point in my life as well, just wanting everything to just be so nice and neat. But just to add on to what you said, that can take away from the beauty of the moment because you're so worried about, oh, I want this to be just right. I want this to hit right here. Like you should just put it out. And I try to encourage, people that I meet and people that I know personally that do music when they have a lot of songs and then they got a lot of songs that are unreleased. I always tell them like, hey man, you can sell those songs, you can put those songs out. And I always encourage them to put them out because I say, just because you don't like this song doesn't mean that 1,000 other people won't like it. They'll probably love it. I'm pretty sure you've seen interviews with artists where they say the song that blew up, they never liked it.
It's literally most artists that say that. That's the
Yeah.
songs. And I've experienced that with myself, not blowing up because I haven't blown up or nothing, but like any song that's done well is always the song that I was a little iffy on putting out. And then the ones that I had all this expectation because I put all this effort into, silence, crickets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all that expectation, that expectation, it kind of dulls the experience too, because it's really when it comes to making music, especially music, or if you paint or anything that's really like personal like that. it's about the personal experience. It's not about the all the extras. And then music, luckily, you can involve that personal experience and you can collaborate that with somebody else's personal experience, and that's what brings people together with music. But it originally starts from that personal experience. If you're collaborating with somebody, of course, it's two experiences that have to like the song. Then it's a little tougher. And that's what makes collaborating hard, especially online nowadays. Always trying to collab online, and it barely ever works out. I only have found one person it's worked out with so far.
So you, in your opinion, you like collabing more? Would you like a more of an in-studio vibe, live, in-person vibe, rather than, sending the vocals and the beat back and forth?
Yeah, because I like to vibe with the person in the studio. The vibe catches the music better. So I find when someone sends over a vocal stem and then I try to work with it, I have to catch their vibe or the same vice versa. And that's a little tougher, man, because you're sitting in a room by yourself. So it's just not easy to vibe off of somebody pre-recorded vibes.
I agree.
It's almost saturated that way.
I agree. I totally agree. Honest. So, do you like the new age of the music industry as far as the distribution services? Do you feel like they help or hurt the music industry?
Talking about streaming.
Give you up.
Um, I think they were helping people. I think when Spotify made some moves, they really destroyed that for people. I think they were helping artists that would never have gotten heard without streaming go from 0 to 1 million um, followers and stuff, and then we're able to kind of leg up with that. So I don't want to disrespect streaming because there is an honest factor to it that originally came from the idea. But just like anything, we're humans, we're greedy motherfuckers, man. So they took over the industry. They're paying nickels and dimes, and that's why everybody has to do 18 businesses and become an entrepreneur just to make music and make money off of that. So
Yeah.
it's like everything. There's pros and cons. I don't think it's negative. I don't think it's positive. I just think it needs adjusting. It's brand new and it needs to be adjusted. It's not correct right now. It needs a calibration.
I know one thing. I've talked with an artist about this before. I know one thing I had to adjust to as far as being a consumer, being a listener. Um, back then it'd be like, oh, Wayne sold 1 million in a week. You know what I'm saying? But now 100,000 is good. But then you look up, how many plays equals, one stream or one album, and it's so many,
It's
and
so many.
it's so many. And me and this artist, we talked about how back in the day, you had to get up off your ass, go to Target, go to FYE, go to Walmart if your mama wanted to get the clean version of the CD. You know what I'm saying? You had to
Yep.
go buy it and cop it. And then, so I always thought it was way more impressive when Wayne sold 1 million in one week than if someone gets 1 million streams. You know what I mean? Because that's just people playing it from their phone.
And yeah, it's a physical copy that people are receiving. I would like to see physical come back in a way. I think what happens is we're going to have to use streaming services kind of like a way in to build our fan base, and then once you've got the fan base, I think that's when you're going to have to go exclusive, and you're going to have to branch off from streaming, and you're going to have to only release certain songs, and then if you want the rest of the album, you can come to me for that. You can get that straight mainstream. It could be a chip, whatever you plug into your computer, but something physical, something to hold on to. It could be a bracelet. We could start making cool, badass fucking gold bracelets and shit that turn into a microchip you plug into your computer and you can save them up like dope keychains, dope things like that. And there's many ideas that people have not put into play yet that I think people are definitely studying and putting into action. I've been studying and listening around and trying to sit at the round tables and trying to listen in and see what people are talking about because I'm brand new and just kind of climbing into it and just poking my head out into the industry. So when I figure it out, man, I'm gonna take off with it. But as of now, I'm seeing the balance is kind of weird. But I think just some work on our side, really, because we're expecting to just make the music and putting our mind towards a 10-year ago plan, and things have just really took a turn. So we
Mhm.
just have to make adjustments.
I was gonna say, hey man, you might want to keep some of them ideas to yourself. They actually sound pretty good.
I appreciate you, but I couldn't do that, man. If I come up with an idea, I got to share it because we're all in this together. And really, we're supposed to be a tribe. That's why if we use things like this, these conversations are important because if I bring that idea to you, you might actually make that idea come alive where me, I'm too busy or something. And then you might come back to me with, hey, man, you hit me with this idea and I want to bring you in on it because it was originally your idea, and what goes around comes around. I'm not tripping on it.
Hey man, that's a very dope mindset that I feel like a lot of people don't have. A lot of people think of me, I'm selfish, my idea. No one thinks of really like, oh, let's work together. Now, some artists have their teams, but as far as like artists coming together, you always see a lot of beef. Um, just a lot of really a lot of ego tripping, I would say.
E ego, yes, ego needs to be dulled. I don't think I carry ego from my life. Not much of it. Or if I do, I beat myself up over it. So I try to carry as little as possible, and I feel like with a team mindset, you have to kind of just give to the universe, and the universe gives back, man.
Man, that's what's up. I really enjoyed this conversation, brother.
I appreciate that, man. That's what I go for.
Hey man, let everybody know where they can find you and where they can support you at, brother.
All right, it's at Caspa Clark. That's Caspaclark. You can go to www.caspaclark.com. I'm on all socials, Facebook, Instagram mostly. Facebook is kind of older. I still post to it, but it sits there and collects some stuff. I'm on TikTok as well. I don't really check in with it too much, but if you want to catch me on the DMs on Instagram, you can find me there. I recommend you follow the website because that's going to have all of the autobiography stuff coming up, all the merch. I drop songs early on there. You can sign up for the fan list, the email list, and you'll get discounts, get all kinds of things like that. We just put a billboard up in Sacramento, so if you're in Sacktown, go over there and check us out down by the car lots. Um, Yeah. You can find me if you want to collaborate, if you want to work on some music. I'm building noise records for independent artists that really don't know what they're doing, and I want to show people what they're doing because I took my time, my efforts to learn this stuff from the ground up, and I know how hard it is. I know that you catch little bits and pieces from YouTube videos and it's hard to piece together, especially if you didn't have a good school growing up. So hit me up and I can teach you what I know and we can learn off of each other and collaborate with some music.
I see why you started a label. You're very business savvy and business minded. I like it.
I
On that
appreciate
one.
that, man.
Hell yeah,
That's
brother.
that's only been over the last few years, man. It's a total mind shift, man. Kids will change your mindset from one to the next.
But I think even you talking like that and you sharing your experiences, me personally, I think when people watch this, I think people won't have any excuse. If you really want to do something, you won't make an excuse and you're going to do it because what excuse do you have? I mean, look at you taking care of two mentally challenged people. You got children and you still took the time, you taking care of them and you still took the time out for music because that's where your heart is. I always tell people if you really want to do something, because your ass just gonna do it. Like
Yep.
you just gonna do it. You're gonna have your mind made up and they're gonna change your mind. You're just gonna do it. It's not gonna be a lot of overthinking.
There's no overthinking. If you're meant for it, you're gonna know in your gut you're meant for it. If you go to work every day and you hate it, why not take time for yourself on something that you love? Like for me, it's music. It might be fishing for another person. If you love it, do it. Don't let nobody tell you you can't. And if they are telling you you can't, that they don't actually want the best for you anyways.
Hey man, I hope everybody grab these jewels. You know what I'm saying, and really understand these gems you've been dropping during this. Like I said, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for giving us your time, bro. I really appreciate it, bro.
Hey man, the pleasure's all mine.
Hey, just do one more thing for me. Look at the camera and say, if you can dream it, you can achieve it.
If you can dream it, you will achieve it, and you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, that wraps up another episode of the Low Key Dreamers.